Hey everyone, it's Jessica Edwards in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I want to talk about expired listings. So what is an expired listing? An expired listing is a property that's been on the market for sale with an agent real estate company, and it's failed to sell during whatever their agreement time that was in place, and it turns to expired in the MLS. So a lot of times, obviously, if somebody's had their home on the market, they want to sell or they need to sell. So what I want to talk about is if you are an expired listing out there, or you had your house on the market and it didn't sell, what happens that second time around? The next time you list is even more critical and crucial because you are sort of trying to come back to the market. You've already been there. Everybody's already seen you. You're trying to come back and raise your hand and say, hey, look at me and pay attention to me. You ignored me the first time, but I'm back. Pay attention to me this time. And so what happens is with an expired or with a property that's previously been for sale like that, there's an industry statistic out there that 80% on average, 80% of showings occur in the first 4 to 6 weeks. And if you think about that, that's really that launch of the property. It's really that glory time on the market when you have the most amount of eyeballs on your property in the first couple months. So we've got to make it count this time because not only are we sort of relaunching the property, we're trying to make anybody that saw us before pay attention again and not ignore us and say that's that property that's been on the market forever. So what happens is everything becomes, overly analyzed and even more critical this time around, and I'm not just talking price. Obviously price comes into play, but your photography, your marketing, the condition of the property, your staging, your landscaping, the paint on the outside of the house, all of those things have got to be perfect. They should have already been the first time, but there's a reason. And if you're sitting there going, well, my house had all those things, we did all that, it was in perfect condition and it didn't sell. There's always a reason, and you need to get yourself hooked up with an agent that specializes or works with a lot of listings that have failed to sell and can show you that then they came into the picture afterwards, relisted the property and sold. So I work with a lot of clients like this. I love working with expired listings. And it's not always the condition of the property. It's not always the price. Sometimes it's one thing or the other. Sometimes most of the time it's a combination of stuff, but you really have to have an agent that knows how to break it down, that knows the market very, very well and knows what advice to give you of things that matter to do and things that don't matter, because you cannot just pull an agent out and say, hey, put my property back on the market and just, keep your fingers crossed and hope that it sells. You've got to be strategic about it. So anyways, these are my thoughts on expired listings. Please feel free to email me if you have any questions or comments. And of course, I hope you check us out at thecarolinasfinest.com. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful day.